Good morning, students. In this video session, we are going to discuss about NMR instrumentation. Basically, we have two types of NMR instruments. One is CW NMR and second one is FT NMR. So these are the two instruments. So by using these two instruments, you can determine the NMR spectrums. So let us discuss about CW NMR and FT NMR. The basic components in the both the techniques is sample holder, permanent magnet, and readout systems, and radio frequency receiver and radio frequency source. These are the common components which are required to both the instruments. So here we have a block diagram for NMR instrument. So this is radio frequency transmitter and this is radio frequency amplifier, and it is sample inlet system and surrounded by coils, and these are the magnets, and it is a sweep generator, and it is a recorder, that means a computer, and it is a detector, and it is a audio amplifier. So these are the components. Let us see what is the use of these components in sample holder. So the sample holder is designed by using a glass tube. So the material we have to use is glass tube with 8.5 centimeters long and 0.3 centimeters in diameter. Next one is permanent magnet. It provides homogeneous magnetic field at 60 to 100 megahertz. It provides 60 to 100 megahertz. In FTNMR instruments, it is exceeds 100 megahertz. In recent developed NMR instrument is nearly equal to 60-100 megahertz. That means it provides a 60-100 megahertz magnet. And magnetic coils. These coils induce magnetic field when current flow through them. So induces magnetic. What is the use of magnetic coils? These are induces magnetic field when current flows through them. Sweep generator. To produce equal amount of magnetic field pass through the sample. To produce equal amount of magnetic field pass through them. This is the sweep generator is very important, because if in the sample, if the one molecule having one magnetic, if one molecule feels one magnetic field, and in the same sample inlet system another molecule feels second different type of fractional magnetic field, then the precessional frequency of the same molecule will be different. So that is why we have to use sweep generator to produce equal amount of magnetic field pass through the sample. And the fifth one is radio frequency transmitter. So this radio frequency transmitter coil produces a short powerful pulse for radio waves. So next one is radio frequency. A radio frequency receiver coil detects receiver radio frequencies emitted from nuclei. So this radio frequency receiver receives the radio frequencies emitted by organic molecule or nuclei. Readout system. Usually the readout system is the monitor of a computer. So the monitor of computer exhibits final result of the final spectra of the organic sample. Let us see what happens in CW NMR and CF90 NMR. So let us discuss in detail on a whiteboard. Here we have to see the first instrumental technique is CW NMR. In CW NMR, the main components are magnet, coil, and radio frequency source, and radio frequency receiver, detector, and recorder. These are the common components for both the CW NMR and FT NMR. How the spectrum is recorded in CW NMR? Let us discuss. Here in CW NMR we have two techniques. One is field sweep method and second one is frequency sweep method. One is field sweep method and second one is frequency sweep method. In field sweep method, field sweep means external magnet will be changed and frequency will be fixed. In frequency sweep method, frequency will be changed and external magnet will. In field sweep method, field will be changed and the frequency of the instrument, that means radio frequency source, will be fixed. Let us take one example. CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. Here I take 1 chloropropane. In this molecule we have 3 environments of protons. One is CH3 and second one is CH2 and third one is CH2. Now I place this 1 chloropropane in external magnetic field. Then the precession frequency of the CH3 is different from other 2 environments and the precession frequency of the CH2 is different from remaining 2 environments. That means here we have 3 different precession frequency. For our convenience, here I consider the precession frequency of the CH3 is 60 MHz and the precession frequency of the CH2 is considered as a 58 MHz and the precession frequency of the CH2 is considered as a 56 MHz at 1.0 Tesla. That means the field of the external magnetic field is 1.0 Tesla and the precession frequency of the protons is 60 MHz, 58 MHz and 56 MHz. Here field sweep method, that means the radio frequency of the instrument will be fixed. The radio frequency of instrument is fixed for 60 MHz. That means it transfers only 60 MHz radio frequency to the organic molecule. That means it resonates only the nuclei which processes at 60 MHz radiation or frequency. Now at 1.0 Tesla, only one CH3 group, at 1.0 Tesla, only one CH3 group is undergo resonance because the radio frequency radiation is equal to precession frequency for this proton at 1.0 Tesla and the remaining 2 hydrogen environments does not undergo resonance because these 2 environments does not satisfy resonance condition. These 2 environments does not satisfy resonance condition. So at 1.0 Tesla, in our organic molecule having only, that means in organic molecule only one environment of protons undergo resonance and gives the corresponding signal. And now for the other environments of protons, that means the remaining environments of protons, we have to enhance the resonance frequency and we have to enhance the resonance frequency that means 1.2 Tesla. At 1.2 Tesla, the CH3 precession frequency is 622 MHz and it is at 60 MHz and it is 58 MHz. So at 1.2 Tesla, only the CH2 is undergo resonance condition because here the radio frequency source is 60 MHz and the precession frequency of the CH2 is 60 MHz at 1.2 Tesla. So at 1.2 Tesla, only the second environment of protons undergo resonance. And again at 1.4 Tesla, the precession frequency of the CH3 is 64, 62 and 60. Now at 1.4 Tesla, this third CH2 group exhibits 60 MHz precession frequency and the radio frequency radiation is 60 MHz. So at 1.41 Tesla, the third environment of protons undergo resonance. So this is the procedure to produce NMR spectrum in field sweep method. So in this field sweep method, we observe a scanning process. That means at one time only one environment of protons undergo resonance. After the completion of that, the second environment of protons exhibits resonance. So in this way the NMR spectrum is recorded. And the second method is frequency sweep method. In frequency sweep method, if we have to fix the external magnetic field, now I fixed the magnetic field, external magnetic field at 1.41 Tesla or 1.0 Tesla, whatever it may be, 1.0 Tesla. Now take the same example, 1 chloro propane at 1.0 Tesla. The precession frequency of the CH3 is 60 MHz and the precession frequency of the CH3 is 58 MHz and the precession frequency of this hydrogen is 56 MHz. So these resonance frequencies are not exact. I just write for explanation. So at 1.0 Tesla, the precession frequency of these three environments will be different. Now the radio frequency will be fixed for 56 MHz. At 1.0 Tesla, the radio frequency is fixed at 56 MHz. Now at 1.0 Tesla, the radio frequency will be 56 is for the CH2. So that the radio frequency radiation 56 MHz is resonates this CH2 group, and after the recording this signal, the radio frequency will be changed, that is tuned to 58 MHz. For this 58 MHz radio frequency source, the second environment of proton will be recorded, and after the completion of recording this environment of proton, now I change the radio frequency to the 60 MHz. Finally, the CH3 group will be recorded in the NMR spectra. So this frequency sweep method is somewhat difficult and it is impossible for normal instruments, because the frequency sweep means we have to change the instrument. That means if we have to use 56 MHz instrument and 58 MHz instrument and 60 MHz instrument, that means frequency sweep method is practically difficult, but field sweep method is easy process. So field sweep method is used to record the NMR spectra in CW-NMR instrument. So here this is the procedure to record the NMR spectra in CW-NMR instruments. So this is the procedure to record the NMR spectra. So the main drawback of these instruments, this CW-NMR instrument, is first one is it is time taken process to record the NMR spectra by using CW-NMR, because here we observe scanning process. So scanning process, so it takes some minutes to record the NMR spectrum. And the second drawback is the external magnetic field strengths are very low usually in CW-NMR instruments, so that the precision frequencies, that means the excess of population in ground state will be very low. That means the intensity of the signals are also very low in CW-NMR instruments, especially for low abundance nucleus like C13NMR nucleus are very difficult to record in CW-NMR instruments. So these are the main drawbacks in CW-NMR instruments. So let us these drawbacks are overcome by the second the most sophisticated instrument in NMR is Fourier transform NMR. Fourier transform NMR, FT NMR. So FT means Fourier transform NMR. In this Fourier transform NMR, here we have to use a pulse. So this pulse contains a series of radio frequency radiations. Here it is a time domain. That means here it is at 0 seconds. Now I switch on the radio frequency source. For 10 microseconds I switch on the radio frequency source. After 10 microseconds I switch off the radio frequency source. During this 10 microseconds of time, the pulse generates a large range of radio frequency radiations. Now this large range of radio frequency radiations is passed through the sample inlet system. In CW-NMR, what was done here? In CW-NMR, the radio frequency radiations are fixed, either 60 MHz or 100 MHz. Only it has one certain amount of radio frequency. But in FT-NMR, we have large range of radio frequency radiations. So that again I take same example in CW-NMR as like in CW-NMR. In CW-NMR, I explain the example 1 chloro propane, CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. If I consider 2.0 Tesla external magnetic field, if the sample is placed at 2.0 Tesla external magnetic field, now it resonates at the precision frequency of this CH3 is 120 megahertz, it is 124 megahertz, and it is 128 megahertz. It is 128 megahertz. Now I pass radio frequency radiation as a pulse. That means here the pulse contains a large range of radio frequency radiations, so that it contains 120 megahertz, 124 megahertz, and 128 megahertz. Here for our explanation I take 120, 124, 128 megahertz. These are not exact precision frequencies of these nucleus at 2.0 Tesla. So for to pass radio frequency radiation to the organic molecule, then all the nuclei are undergo transition from ground state to excited state in a same time. All nuclei are excited from ground state to excited state in a same time. But in CWNMR there is a scanning process, but here there is no scanning process. All the neurometers of protons are excited in a single time, so that all the nucleus are undergo excitation. So now the nuclei are in excited state. The excited nuclei now comes to the ground state by releasing its absorbed radio frequency. Now the excited nuclei comes to ground state with releasing its absorbed radiation. That means releases its absorbed radio frequency. So for example, here in the principle we discussed that one nuclei is undergo transition from ground state to excited state by absorption of radio frequency radiation, and now it is flipped its spin. Now the nuclei in excited state again returns to the ground state by releasing its absorbed radio frequency radiation. So this process is called relaxation process. Now in the similar way, in our organic molecule we have lots of different environments of proton. Here in our molecule we have 3 environments of protons, CH3, CH2, CH2. Now all the nuclei comes to ground state in a single time, CH3, CH2, CH2. So for example, one nuclei comes to ground state, it releases, let's say, electromagnetic radiation. So it is a time domain spectrum. That means at 1 second, for example at 1 second, the number of nuclei in excited state is very, very high, so that it produced radio frequency intensity is very, very high. During the time, that means at 5 seconds, the number of nuclei in excited state will be decreases. After some time gap, for 10 seconds, the number of nuclei in excited states will be decreases. That means the nuclei in excited state number will be decreases by increasing the time, because all our nuclei undergo relaxation process. So this is called FID. This is for one hydrogen nuclei, but our organic molecule having different hydrogen nucleus and different environments of protons, and all are appears as a dark band. So we cannot separate FID by hand or by using any other, or we cannot separate the FIDs by hands, and we cannot study by the FIDs in a human eye. So the signal appears as like this. So this FID is not studied by human eye, so that we need some support, that is FT, that is called Fourier transform. This Fourier transform is a mathematical conversion which converts a time domain spectrum into a frequency domain spectrum. So how can it is recorded? It is recorded on the basis of time basis. That means at 1 second, at 5 seconds. That means during the time variation, the intensity of the signal will be decreases, so changes. So it is a time domain spectrum. So the conversion of time domain spectrum into frequency domain spectrum is done by the Fourier transformation. So it is a mathematical conversion. It is already installed in our computer, so that it converts and it separates the FIDs and records the NMR spectrum for in frequency domain. So for our organic molecule, here our organic molecule contains CH3, CH2 and CH2 and Cl. Here it exhibits a triplet and it exhibits a multiplet. This is a frequency domain spectrum. Now we explain that after seeing this NMR spectrum, the molecule having three environments of signals, and one is appears at some chemical shift, another one is at another position, and one is a triplet, another one is multiplet, and the third one is a triplet. So you can explain the information, we can get the information from this frequency domain spectrum, but we cannot explain time domain spectrum. So this is the way to record the NMR signal in FTNMR instrument. In FTNMR instrument, all the signals are excited and they get relaxed. So based on the relaxation procedure and the emitted radiation of that nuclei, these signals are recorded as FIDs, and the FIDs are converted into a frequency domain spectrums. So here the main advantage of FTNMR is it is a gives more intense signal than CWNMR instrument. In CWNMR instrument, when compared to signals of CWNMR instrument and FTNMR instrument, the intensity of the signals is high in FTNMR instrument. And the first advantage of this FTNMR instrument is it is recorded in a seconds, but the CWNMR instrument recorded the spectrum in a minutes. So it is a less time taken process, but CWNMR is a time taken process. It requires very few seconds to record the NMR spectrum. And in CWNMR, the less abundance in molecules does not recorded or does not give good NMR spectra. But in FTNMR instruments, for low abundance nucleus, especially for C13 NMR nuclei, we will get a good NMR signal. That means a good signal to noise ratio spectra. So we can differentiate whether it is signal or noise based on by using FTNMR. So these are the three advantages of FTNMR than CWNMR. So this is the importance of FTNMR instrument over CWNMR instrument. This FTNMR instrument is the most important concept in NMR spectroscopy, and the advantages of NMR spectroscopy is the important question for our university exams. So the students, I hope you understand the concept of instrumentation and how can the record, how the signals are produced, how the NMR spectrum is produced in the instrument. Thank you. In the next session, we are going to discuss about chemical shift and factors affecting